Okay, so I'm gonna continue to trace the detail lines on my second layer of clay with my ink pen. I always like to draw a small section at a time, peel it back to see if it's making a copy, which it is. You might not be able to see on the video very well. And I'm not going to draw the detail lines where my third layer of clay is going to cover up on the second layer. So this tower is my third layer. I'm going to skip that. I am going to draw the contour line though. I'm going to draw the outside of this tower, but nothing on the inside, because that's my third layer. If I draw all these details, when I attach layer 3, it's going to cover up what I just transferred, so that's kind of a waste of time right now. So I'm just going to stick with transferring the lines on layer 2. And I'm going to peel it back to make sure it was transferring, which it is. And remember to take your time, because if you don't do this step accurately, then your building is not going to reference the photograph, and that is a part of this grade, is accurately recreating your piece of architecture. So the nice thing is, if I make a mistake, I can just use my finger and smooth that and start over. And these lines are guidelines to the beginning of my carving for the details. Really what I'm going to have to do is be patient and use other carving tools when I'm touching the clay itself after I've used this plastic. The plastic is just a starting point. Okay, so now I can take that off, and you can see that you can see the detail lines. They're not really dark and visible, but that's enough for me to see what I have to then go back over the top of. So I might now take my ink pen, and I'm just using like light hand pressure, lighter than what I would actually write with, to start to carve in the detailed texture lines. And it's a good idea to have your photograph next to you. So if you're not sure what to draw, you can look at the photo and then kind of go from there, just looking at what the design was on the photo. And you can see when I go back over with the ink pen, now these details come to the surface easier, and this is really what I want more the depth to look like as I'm starting to work on carving out my details. So I would finish all of these detail lines before I attach slab number 3, because once I get slab 3 on there, I'm going to have a difficult time working around the height of my third slab to carve in all these details. So I'm going to do everything on layer 2 before I attach layer 3.